The Demonic Warlords of the Despoiler Legion are on a mission to spread corruption and sow chaos throughout the realms. Led by their exalted demon princes, the elite warriors of the Slaves to Darkness grow too bold as they spread their ruinous destruction. Unaware that the forests they burn are sacred to the Sylvaneth, the eager champions of the Harvestboon Glade prepare their retribution. But when the Sylvaneth strike from the dark depths, will their blades and branches be enough to pierce the armor of their dark foes?
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Tonight we're here again for another exciting game of Age of Sigmar. Ryan, you're back on the channel. Your first game of AoS 3. I've played a couple now, but excited to get into it. But you're bringing out a different army than you typically have lately, at least, or the past few months. Not your Tzeentch today, bringing your Slaves to Darkness.
Which is also Tzeentch.
Yeah, fair enough. A lot of it is still Tzeentch. And as I'm sure you can tell, I'm playing my Sylvaneth today. Thematically, obviously, Sylvaneth board, got home field advantage today. But jumping right into things, the mission we're playing today is Savage Danes, obviously from GHB 2021. So new one, obviously. This mission is actually similar to one of the old core rulebook ones, almost identical, with 4 objectives in the center, 2 points for the ones in the middle, 1 for your own, 4 for your opponents. So not anything too different. But Ryan, why don't you take us through your list first?
Sure, absolutely. So as mentioned before, it's mostly Tzeentch. As most of you, I'd hope, would know that Tzeentch kind of sucked in AoS 2, but they reworked the way things, save buffs work, and now suddenly they're good.
As a sub-faction, or as a
Slaves faction, sorry,
yes.
yeah.
Very good army by themselves.
The other Tzeentch was just fine. They didn't have too many problems. Yeah, so it's mostly Tzeentch. I'll just go from one side to the other. These are my Chaos Knights. They're Chaos Knights. They have ensorcelled weapons. I have one Demon Prince here. She's rocking the Arcane Tomb so that she can basically Mystic Shield herself. Yeah. My second Demon Prince here is my General, and she's got the Warlord trait Paragon of Ruin, which gives me a pre-game move because these dudes are really, really slow, and that kind of gets me into the mid-board before I lose, basically. I have a Slaughter Brute here, and he's paired with this Khorne Demon Prince here. They're buddies. If the Khorne Demon Prince dies, Slaughter Brute gets sad. Trees die. It's great. And then a big block of Chaos Warriors. They're basically here to not die, which they're hopefully going to be pretty good at. Another block of Marauders. I also have a Chaos Sorcerer. The Sorcerer knows Mask of Darkness, so he can teleport Chaos Marauders. I have a Manticore Sorcerer Lord here, and he knows Whispers of Chaos. And finally at the end, because I had a little bit of points left over, I've got my Spawn here that's gonna die, but he's gonna die gloriously and for Tzeentch's will. So.
Perfect.
Oh, and I'm Despoilers, I should say that.
Nice.
Which means healing monsters and turning all these trees into dark, deathy things.
Perfect. Well, for me, I'm playing my Sylvaneth, obviously, as we said. The sub-faction I'm playing is Harvestboon, one I haven't typically played before, but there are some fun things in it. I get reroll ones to hit on the charge, which is awesome. There's a command ability for +1 attack, Durthu being my general here. The command trait actually is interesting because after he attacks, he gets to make a 6-inch move. Obviously, can like bounce out of combat, be safe, especially combined with his like potentially attacking last stomp. He can be kind of an annoying nuisance to deal with, so that's what we're hoping for. But otherwise, in my list, I have Drycha, who knows Regrowth. I have a Branch Witch, not a Branch Wraith, only because I'm literally 2,000 points here, so I couldn't take the other one. So I just needed this hero in there for the battalion to give me an extra artifact. Because I am running the Warsong Revenant for the first time, my first time playing it, and super excited for that. And I wanted the extra artifact to give the Warsong Revenant Vesperal Gem. Lets me autocast one of my spells from the spell lore. Obviously, he knows the entire spell lore. So can, Throne of Vines buffing up casts. I have Spell Portal. Obviously, then he has a great AoE Mortal Wound spell. So hopefully we did some spicy Mortal Wound action throughout this game. Otherwise, I have 3 units of Tree Revenants for my battle line, just minimum 5s. A unit of 6 Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes, and a unit of 3 Kurnoth Hunters with Swords. Again, I had 2 battalions here. You had 3 battalions, but I was the 1-drop one, so with one of them, so it was 4 drops and easily outdropped you here. And then for my grand strategy, I chose Prize Sorcery. I have 3 wizards. Hopefully I'll have one of them survive to the end of the game. You could have done battle line, hold the line for me with my Tree Revenants, who I can keep safe, but if I ever went up against shooting, they could just get shot off pretty easily. What about you? What grand strategy did you choose?
I went with hold the line because I have a big block of warriors, and I kind of figure if they die, I'm losing anyways. So seems like an obvious choice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, otherwise, we're going to be just jumping right into things. But Ryan, you do have that pre-game movement, so why don't you get started with that, and then I'll get to decide who goes first.
All right. So pre-game's movement's done. I moved Slaughter Brood up and my 2 big blocks of infantry so that they're ready to be already contesting the objectives. Well, not really contesting, but they're threatening the objectives.
Yeah, very close. An inch or 2 away.
Yeah, basically, if he now gives me first turn, I'm going to have a big block of warriors on that objective that's very hard to move. So it makes him think about things.
It must be the Tzeentch, because you predicted the future here. I am going to give you first turn, so we'll just jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1.
At the start of the battle round, Dreicher's mercurial aspect is enraged. The Sorcerer Lord uses Oracular Vision on the Chaos Warriors, and the Sorcerer Lord on Manticore uses it on himself. The Demon Prince casts Arcane Bolt but is unbound. The Sorcerer Lord casts Demonic Power but is unbound. Lastly, the Sorcerer on Manticore casts Mystic Shield but is also unbound. The Demon Prince of Khorne uses Blood Slick Ground. Capturing the center objective score the Slaves to Darkness 5 points, as well as 2 additional for their battle tactic.
All right, my turn's over. As you can imagine, it involves some movement and not a lot of fighting. I successfully cast 3 spells, and then he was a meanie and unbound all 3 of them, which was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Tzeentch is supposed to be good at this magic thing, but we'll see. Next turn, the Reckoning is coming. Basically, I moved my whole army upwards this way, with the exception of the stuff over here. I've taken 3 objectives, which means I get my battle tactic for the first turn.
Yep.
Spawns out front, ready to get clobbered. It's basically how it works. My Khorne Demon Prince here used his command ability, so everything within 18 inches of him is going to half their movement. Not their movement, their charges next turn. So
very impactful.
Hopefully that's going to deny these really fast tree people a few charges and delay a turn. Basically let me hold objectives for longer is basically the goal.
And with storing your battle tactic, you got 2 points for that, as well as you holding the ones that you do, you get 5 points. So 7 points turn 1 is a pretty good start.
Yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, good start. I'll have to fight you off those, but we will jump into Sylvaneth, turn 1.
Starting their hero phase, the Branch Witch casts Verdant Blessing. Dreicher cast Mystic Shield but was unbound. The Treesong Revenant uses the Vespral Gem to autocast Throne of Vines, and then casts the Umbral Spell Portal. In the shooting phase, Dreicher uses all-out attack, dealing 8 wounds to the Slaughter Brute. The Spirit of Durthu deals another 3 wounds to the Slaughter Brute, leaving him with only 1 remaining. Durthu uses Forward to Victory, but fails his charge, as do the Kurnoth Hunters. With the Khorne Demon Prince disrupting their charges, the Sylvaneth end their turn without getting into combat and only score their home objective and battle tactic.
Alright, so Sylvaneth turn 1 is done. You would have heard I did Monstrous Takeover, easy one here, and you already had the objectives, and I didn't feel great about taking them back. And then we both did heroic leadership. You generated a CP, I failed, but I was sitting on 4, so feeling pretty rich that I would be able to spend them on everything I wanted from shooting, reroll charges, and then hopefully spend 2 in combat with my 2 units in combat. Spoiler, there are no units in combat. Here, the Demon Prince, his aura obviously, shutting down my charges. I was about just like 1 inch off from getting in with actually probably both units, so. And I did do forward to victory with Durthu, but he still didn't make it in. So not the best turn in hindsight. Obviously, the play I should have been going for your Demon Prince with Drycha and Durthu shooting to try and get him down. The reason I didn't is after movement, 1, he's not a better save. I did get 5 morals with Drycha, which really would have helped and made it actually pretty likely for me to kill him, especially when I did 11 to the Slaughter Brute. The difference is Durthu wasn't in range of the Demon Prince, so he wasn't there to support and assist and get final wounds off of. So that's why I pivoted, but obviously that hugely impactful. So should have positioned, made sure I was in range to do that. It's just a turn, like you said, a turn longer of you holding the objectives. I'm not really too worried about your damage output, though you do decent damage. But it's not anything too crazy. So just denying me that turn of combat is huge. I do store my battle tactic. I store 1 point for holding my own objective, so it's 7-3 right now. So not a great spot for me. And then otherwise, all our command points are obviously wiped at the end of the round, and we'll be just jumping into priority roll for round 2.
All right. I'd really like to win this.
Well, you win ties and I rolled a 1, so you cannot.
All right,
fail.
I got this. I wasted a perfectly good 5.
Okay, well, yeah, you're winning priority here.
Yeah, I'm going first.
All right. And otherwise, jump into the top of round 2 with Slaves to Darkness going first.
This round, Drycha's Mercurial aspect is enraged again. At the start of the hero phase, the Sorcerer Lord on Manticore dispels the Umbral spell portal. The Slaughter Brute uses Blessed by the Unholy to heal 2 wounds. The Sorcerer Lord uses Oracular Vision on the Chaos Warriors, and the Sorcerer Lord on Manticore uses it on himself. The Demon Prince casts Mystic Shield on himself. The Sorcerer Lord casts a Demonic Power, but is again unbound. The Demon Prince of Khorne uses Blood Slick Ground. After their movement, the Demon Princes each use Twisted Dominion. At the end of the charge phase, the Slaughter Brute uses Smash to Rubble, but fails to destroy the Wild Bolt. The Slaves to Darkness remain in control of the central objectives, achieve their battle tactic, and again score 7 points this turn.
All right, my turn was riveting, I have to say. I moved up. I set up the darkness rule on this terrain piece, this one, and this one, so hopefully we'll scare the trees away from their trees. The Glorious Slaughter Brute healed 2 wounds thanks to the Despoilers rule, bringing him up to a grand total of 3, so he has become an official speed bump. Other than that, I just crowded onto the objective. I successfully cast Mystic Shield on this Demon Prince here, who is going to tank some Kurnoths hopefully next turn, and then I just consolidated onto the objectives. And I got my battle tactic because my monster is just on a sliver over there. And yeah, that's kind of my turn. There wasn't a lot to it.
Sounds good. Well, we'll be jumping into Sylvaneth turn 2. You store another 7 points here, which is big, obviously, so early lead. Well, with that, we'll be jumping into Sylvaneth turn 2.
In the hero phase, the Branch Witch cast Mystic Shield but was unbound. Drycha casts Arcane Bolt. The Warsong Revenant then casts the Umbral Spell Portal and Unleashed Swarm of Spikes. The Sorcerer Lord on Manticore and the Marauders manage to ignore the spell effects because of the Demon Prince's Aura of Zeech. However, Swarm of Spites still deals 24 mortal wounds in total to the remaining units, including killing the Sorcerer Lord, Chaos Spawn, and the Slaughter Brute. The Demon Prince uses Redeploy to tuck safely behind the Chaos Warriors. In the shooting phase, Drycha uses All-Out Attack, killing 8 Marauders. The Spirit of Durthu targets the Chaos Warriors, but fails to deal any damage. The Kurnoth Hunters make their charge using Forward to Victory, though Drycha fails hers. At the end of the charge phase, Durthu roars at the Sorcerer on Manticore, who then roars in return. At the start of the combat phase, Durthu fails his ground-shaking stomp. The Kurnoth Hunters use all-out defense as the Demon Prince attacks first, dealing 2 wounds to the Kurnoth. The Spirit of Durthu deals 10 wounds to the Sorcerer on Manticore, leaving him with only 2 remaining. The Chaos Warriors then attack, killing a Kurnoth Hunter. The Kurnoth with swords use Fertile Ground, killing 1 Chaos Warrior and finishing off the Sorcerer on Manticore. The Demon Prince uses all-out defense as the Kurnoth Hunters attack, only dealing 2 damage. In the Battle Shock phase, 7 additional Marauders flee. The Sylvaneth claim one of the center objectives to score 3 points, achieve their battle tactics for 2 points, and score an additional point for killing a monster this round.
Alright, Sylvaneth turn 2. I confirmed love the Warsaw Revenant here. Cast the spell portals, and then obviously his War Scroll spell, so I didn't have a chance to do Throne of Vines for another +2, but I rolled a 9. At +3, I was doing 12 dice, mortal wounds on 5s. I probably did at least like 12 mortal wounds across, between the different units. Probably
and it should have been double that if I wasn't Zeech. Against any other army, it would have been probably
exactly. You did, yeah, because I'm hitting so many units. But you had, at least 2, I think, spell ignores. So that helped a lot. But in the end, I did take the Manticore down with Durthu. Actually, no, he didn't do it. The Kurnoth had to finish him off because of that 5-up Amulet of Destiny, obviously a great artifact. Otherwise, Unit of Stitch Kurnoth over here did 2 damage to the Demon Prince, just a tanky beast, all-out defense. So at your base 3-up, re-rolling ones from Tzeentch is super resilient. So it didn't get, only 1 attack through and rolled a 2. And then Drycha didn't get to charge anything because of the Khorne Demon Prince, and I just haven't been targeting him with my shooting because I want to take down your other threats. It forced you into battle shocking. Yeah. Pretty happy with how it went. Also, Kurnoth being 2 wounds, counting as 2 models here. With my pile-in, I got 5 on, but 4 would have been enough because I take this objective from you because you count as having 7. So I have, I think, 10 on there now with 5 guys. So that is pretty good for me. I did kill the Slaughter Brute. I unfortunately killed it with the Warsaw Revenant. I would have loved to have Drycha or Durthu finish him off in shooting or even in combat for the extra point. But I do get 2 points for the battle tactic, an extra point for killing a monster this battle round, which is just one of the Dur abilities or benefits. So that's 3 points, and then 4 for this one, and then taking me up to 6 holding that one. So not as good as your 7s the past 2 turns, but obviously in terms of killing stuff, you wanted to store early and hold on. Now hopefully I can kind of flip the objectives and score in the latter half of the game. We also are coming up into a priority roll, and this is the turn 3 priority roll, so this is a very impactful one because we can also burn an objective depending on who goes second. So let's roll it. That's a 1. You lose ties.
I got a 5.
So you have choice here.
This is tough. So I think I have to take it. I have to get a chance at healing, and I need to consolidate a little bit to try and hold these objectives, even though that one is now defunct.
I will burn this one. I'm not worried about taking it out or anything. But otherwise, we'll be jumping into Slaves to Darkness, turn 3.
All right.
This round, Drytra's mercurial aspect is embittered. In the hero phase, the Demon Prince casts Mystic Shield but is unbound. The Demon Prince of Khorne uses Bloodslip Ground. The Slaves to Darkness end their turn without much action, scoring 1 point as they look to consolidate in a more defensive position.
All right, my turn went interestingly. My Demon Prince healed a wound. I was really hoping for more healing. The other Demon Prince failed to heal. The Warriors pulled back. I was really hoping for a big run roll for the Marauders to create a screen line, but somebody disappointed me with the grand total of 1. The Knights pulled back a bit. They're basically forcing Jordan to at least make a bit of a decision. If he pulls off to go get the Demon Prince, I'm going to take that objective back, so it kind of forces him to leave them there at least. The Demon Prince is consolidated backwards a bit, and yeah, we're now just bracing for impact. I think this, and I should also mention this Demon Prince fled, and she's now threatening the backline a little bit. I'm not sure how much threat that's going to turn out to be, but it, again, makes Jordan think about other things. Yeah.
And yeah, you did not screw your battle tactics, so you just get 1 point for your home objective.
Yeah. I whistled at Drycha.
Yeah, decided to pass on that one. And with that, we'll be jumping into Sylvaneth turn 3.
All right.
The Treesong Revenant uses the Vesperal Gem to autocast Throne of Vines, but then miscasts Unleash Swarm of Spikes. Drycha casts Mystic Shield on herself, and the Branch Witch failed to cast Flaming Weapon. At the start of the movement phase, the units of Tree Revenant all teleport using their waypipes. The Kurnoth Hunters with swords use Navigate Realm Route to travel between wildwoods. In shooting, Drycha deals 2 wounds to the Demon Prince, but Durthu deals no damage. At the end of the charge phase, Drycha stomps, dealing 2 mortal wounds to the Demon Prince. Fighting at the start of combat, the Demon Prince deals no damage to Drycha. The Kurnoth Hunters use all-out defense, as the other 2 Demon Princes attack, killing 2 Kurnoth. Drycha uses all-out attack, finishing off the Demon Prince. The Kurnoth Hunters deal 5 damage to 1 Demon Prince and 4 to the other. At the end of the combat phase, the Kurnoth's Trample deals 1 mortal wound to finish off the Khorne Demon Prince. The Kurnoth Hunters use Inspiring Presence, and the Sylvaneth end their turn scoring 3 points for the objectives and 2 for their battle tactic.
Alright, so Sylvaneth turn 3. Starting off, I stored my battle tactic for aggressive expansion, remaining in control of these 2 objectives. Not too hard. Drycha came over here, finished off the Demon Prince in shooting and then combat. I brought 2 Kurnoth over here. Because of the conundrum you put me in, I at least have them there as a defense. You can still move on and take it, but I have a unit right there ready to answer.
Yep.
And over here, because of the Khorne Demon Prince, Durthu failed his charge. However, Drycha again, and then the Kurnoth with sides just literally barely made it. Over here, killed 1 of the Demon Princes, the Khorne one, so that won't be as slow anymore on my charges. You remain in control of the objective though, because we're tied. I just have one body on there and we're each worth 2. So 2 for my secondary or my battle tactic, 2 for that one, and 1 for this one, scoring me 5 for the turn. So
I'm still got a lead.
Yeah.
But not much of one.
15-14, so a real close game right now. And jumping into priority.
And I really need to win this one again.
I roll a 4 this time, so you have to roll a 4 up. You roll a 4. Ties obviously impacting this one.
I have to take it.
Okay, so with that, jumping into, Tzeentch turn 4.
All right.
This round, Drycha's Mercurial aspect is embittered again. Jumping into the movement phase, the Chaos Warriors use At the Double for free from the Vanguard Battalion. Repositioning to claim back the middle objective and secure their own, the Slaves to Darkness score 3 points plus 2 for their battle tactic.
All right, I had another just riveting turn, and I'm playing cat and mouse like a champ.
Yep.
The Marauders form the Durthu Wall. This is Gandalf over here. Then my glorious warriors here they used the command to run really fast so that they could go jump on this objective and brace themselves for impact. Hopefully with an all-out defense they can hold against the hunters, because if they can't, then bad things are going to happen to my objective.
Yep.
Over here, the knights did exactly what I wanted them to do, is just slid over there and took back the objective.
Also scoring you your battle tactic.
Yep, also scoring me my battle tactic. So they basically are keeping me in this game by doing nothing, which is actually what the whole army seems to be doing, because someone killed all my stuff that does stuff, and now all that's left is the tanks.
Yep.
So here I am. With my 5-minute turn done.
All right, otherwise jumping into Sylvaneth turn 4.
At the start of the hero phase, the Kurnoth hunters use Rally but do not return any models. Then the Branch Witch unbinds Umbral Spell Portal. The Tree Song Revenant uses the Vespral Gem to auto-cast Throne of Vines, and then cast Mystic Shield on Drycha. Drycha fails to cast Arcane Bolt. In the shooting phase, Drycha shoots at the Chaos Warriors, killing 3. The Spirit of Durthu uses all-out attack, killing 2 more Chaos Warriors. At the end of the charge phase, Drycha fails to stomp the Chaos Knights, but Durthu roars at the Marauders. Drycha starts off the combat phase using all-out attack, killing 4 Chaos Knights. The Kurnoth hunters use all-out defense, and the Chaos Warriors deal only 3 wounds to them. The Spirit of Durthu kills the Marauders, then uses Seek New Fruit to close in. The lone Chaos Knight deals 2 wounds to the Kurnoth, then dies on the attack back. The Sylvaneth general is an idiot and forgot to attack with the Kurnoth hunters. The Chaos Warriors use Inspiring Presence, and the Sylvaneth end their turn scoring 3 points for the objectives plus 2 for their battle tactic.
All right, so Sylvaneth turn 4, doing some stuff. I'm having fun. Did get Conquer over here for my battle tactic, so I'll store 2 for this objective, 1 for my own. I don't take that one by actually only you have 9 to my 8. So 5 points this round.
So I'm still up by 1.
Still up by 1, yeah. But obviously looking pretty good for me. I did use Durthu's Seek New Fruit, which is the first time it's been relevant, because after I killed the Marauders, they were dead, they were gone. So I did the 6-inch move forward, just puts me closer to the objective for the next turn. Otherwise, Drycha helped clean up there, and I dispelled Spell Portal with the Branch Witch, so that my +7 to cast Arch Revenant or Warsong Revenant can cast that next turn. Just because why not? There's not much really else to do. And at +7, I cast a Mystic Shield. And that was very effective. But otherwise, obviously, yeah, you have a point here. We are coming down to round 5, going into final priority
You should win
roll.
one of these.
I should. I roll a 6. You have to tie me to beat me. No, you do. Oh my god.
I think I'm going to take the turn.
So with that, we will be jumping into Slaves to Darkness turn 5.
At the end of the charge phase, Durthu roars at the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince fails to deal any damage to the spirit of Durthu. Durthu uses all-out attack, dealing 5 wounds to the Demon Prince, who survives with 1 wound.
Alright, so my turn is over. My warriors fled, just like they've done almost every turn. But they're still alive, and they're still holding this objective. And if he whiffs every single attack here, they'll be able to keep holding. Yeah. The Demon Prince went for the Gusto. Did some damage to Durthu.
No, you didn't do
no, I
anything.
did no damage. That's right, you made your save. The odds were not good. Someone roared at me. That was the whole problem.
Yeah.
It's dire, but we will fight on.
Yeah, otherwise, obviously, going to be a quick turn, hopefully, for me. So we will jump into Sylvaneth turn 5.
The Kurnoth use Rally, returning no models, and the Chaos Warriors also rally, returning 2 models. The Warsong Revenant casts Umbral Spell Portal, then casts Unleash Swarm of Spites, dealing a total of 12 mortal wounds. Drycha then casts Regrowth to heal 4 wounds from the Kurnoth Hunters. In the shooting phase, Drycha uses all-out attack and kills 3 Chaos Warriors. With 3 strong units bearing down on them, the last Chaos Warriors are slain, and the Sylvaneth score all 3 remaining objectives for 7 points, plus 2 additional for their battle tactic.
Alright, so Sylvaneth turn 5, bringing it home at the end. Obviously, close game on the scoreboard here. Like your plan from the start was to jump on the objectives and try and survive. Hit back with some things, but like you said, I was getting...
Yeah, you basically deleted the stuff that could hit, and it left me with very little to hit back with. And the tanky stuff did what they were supposed to do. Like the Demon Prince absorbing 6 hunters and only taking 2 wounds. That's like A-okay. I thought they performed well. The Warriors, they took a lot of punches. It took a lot to bring them down. Just my punchy stuff died in the first turn.
Yeah.
And it's when you can't punch in this game, it goes downhill fast.
Yes, sir. And especially, with heroes on 2-up saves and even the Kurnoth, on a 4-up or a 3-up, and then healing and bringing models back. Not that I did any bringing models back this turn. The most exciting thing this turn was I was casting my spell at +7 for the War Scroll spell where I'm, rolling damage based on my casting roll. And then I cast on 11, so I was rolling 18 dice to do mortals against your 2 units, which only amounted to, I think I did 5 or 6 to each unit.
It was sufficient.
It killed the Demon Prince, a couple of Chaos Warriors, and then obviously between Drycha, Durthu, and 4 Kurnoth with sides, finished off the last few Chaos Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, my army is really good at taking hits from spells, and that was devastating.
Yeah.
So an army that's not good at taking hits from spells, that's deadly. That thing's like you getting like a Insensate Rage Bloodthirster every turn.
Yeah, exactly. With Spell Portal, obviously we've been talking about, it makes that spell so much better. And I even, even if I sat up a little further, you're not affecting the board space, especially with Throne of Vines where you're locked in one position. So you're really banking on kind of the Spell Portal throughout the game to,
But it does it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, so if you don't have Unbinds or here, I'm casting it at +3 as, on turn 1 or +5 on turn 2, right? So
yeah,
it's hard to deal with
her, and she's tough to threaten.
Yeah, especially with the 4-up ward and the one miscast turn slowed me down a little bit, but other than that, obviously, just that first turn of hitting 5 or 6 different units was huge.
Yeah, I thought I would have that wizard for a while. I was like, he didn't bring much shooting. I thought I'd have at least one wizard for a long time to keep oracular visioning the warriors. They both just keeled over dead.
Yeah, poof.
And I lost my teleport, so I couldn't threaten his backline because that was my only plan for threatening his backline.
Yeah. Ryan, this was your first game of 3.0, so I would love to hear your thoughts on the new edition.
Yeah, I like it so far. The smaller board feels interesting. But I mean, the fact that Tzeentch is finally viable, at least Tzeentch slaves, is really fantastic. I think that alone makes me happy for the edition, because I painted that army to be Tzeentch a long time ago, and Tzeentch has been just awful in Slaves to Darkness for as long as I can remember. So that's really got me excited. Obviously, there's some changes that need to be made with the army. I have Balakar on the way. He definitely is kind of the keystone of this army, and without the keystone, it left me a little bit without options, but there's also some decisions I could have made that might have made things better. But yeah, overall, I think the edition seems solid. So that's good. And my world's full of trees suddenly again.
Yeah, I'm pulling the Sylvaneth out lots lately. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed this battle report. I want to say an extra big thank you to all our premium members who are the primary supporters of the channel, make all the content possible. And we are, at the time of recording, about to hit the goal for our final, currently only membership goal, which is to do one extra battle report every week for our premium members. So if you are interested in double the content, check out our premium membership by hitting the join button below the video. Again, help support the channel, make it all possible. And again, we'll be making a lot more content pretty soon.
Nice.
But until next time, see you soon in another battle report.